Raleigh and Watkins were competing. They went door to door in the cities, and in the country they went with horse and wagons and sometimes cars and went from farm to farm. And you bought your household medication from them. There was no Medicare. Farm incomes were low. Doctors were few and far between. And it was an accepted thing that on the farm you didn't run to a doctor with every ache and pain. So they served a vital role. And the farm wife bought her vanilla extract and her mothballs and her burn ointment and her laxatives from the Raleigh and Watkins man came around.
With the expansion of research and development by the pharmaceutical companies in the 1930s, strict scientific guidelines or protocols were applied to the development and production of medicines.
The development was being done by the larger companies that were doing all of the investigations and things that were being done then. Not as extensive in those days as it is today, but at the same time the development was being done because there was a need.
When I first came into the department, a protocol could be as simple as a one-page letter to a doctor asking him to do something specifically for us. Now, over in those 21 years I've been in the medical department, things have become much more complicated. Government requires much more information, naturally. So now a protocol can be anything from 30 pages to 100 pages.
Well, this is the chemical testing.
Chemical testing.
All of the raw materials that we purchase to make product, before it's used, must be tested to specifications. So this is all specially filtered air, again to prevent contamination of product, because we're looking at very, very minute particles that could contaminate products.
Pharmaceutical research, the search for new medicines, builds on all that had gone before. Seemingly minor discoveries in one area can open up whole new vistas for research.
Sometimes an academic will approach us and interest us in an idea of his or a program, and then we have to make an internal decision using research and marketing resources to decide whether we want to pursue this line of investigation. Because there's probably no drug company in the world that could take on every project in every therapeutic category. There are just too many various programs to consider, so most of us have to zero in and target in on certain special areas.
As you remember from history, discovery throughout the industry was slowing down towards the end of '60s, when people were giving up on copying natural products. They'd run out of ideas, run out of testing methods. All the testing methods were antiquated and were not giving much to build on. '73 was particularly a bad year for everyone. There were only 4 drugs approved in all of USA, North America. During the '70s, the drug discovery process throughout North America was more or less in the doldrums, as the English would say. Something strange happened then. The regulatory process was becoming more complicated, and the FDA imposed good laboratory practice regulations on the industry in 1976 to '78. This gave us all time to think. And surprisingly, just after that, discovery took off again. What had happened in the meantime was there'd been a development, almost an awakening, in the area of immunobiology. New techniques were evolving in molecular biology. Technology had taken not just a few steps forward, but a few great leaps forward. And new methods were available for people to look at animal physiology. There was a totally better understanding of animal physiology, of molecular processes, so that there were opportunities to look at the effect of drugs on a molecular level an opportunity which probably never existed before to that extent. That is why we've seen in recent times so many new ideas coming up in the area of discovery.